Shalom, shalom, family, shalom. It's your brother Yaya, and hope you're having a blessed day. All praises for another day. A day to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh Bashemi Al Shai, and be thankful for what you have. Strive to live rightly, and study to show ourselves approved unto Him. So that's what we're gonna do, and this lesson is about judgment, okay? Because we're witnessing the things that the scriptures talk about, and those who have been confederate against us, those who have made under one consent to destroy our people. The thing is all that stuff comes back, right? It catches up with you. And the Most High is not a man that he should lie. Our enemies have plotted against us. So judgment must be recompensed upon them, right? They must receive the judgment. And America is being judged for all of its wickedness, as well as these nations who had a hand in our captivities. And I know we've been preaching about this for a long time. But that's the thing about lessons. It's repetitive. It's refreshing. And, especially to those who may be coming on that are new or whatever it is. But this truth must be spoken, even though it's been spoken, even though it's been spoken for a while. We're towards the end of this thing, okay? As we've said many times before, but everything is on the Most High's time. So judgment must take place. And, there's no one shall buy our enemies out of their out of their troubles, right? Just like no one bought us out of ours. We had to go through the hardships of slavery. We had to go through the Jim Crow. We had to go through all of the things, all of the traps. We had to go through it. So thus our enemies shall do the same thing, okay? No one gets out of this unscathed. No one. Okay? No one gets out of this unscathed. Joel 3:3. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. They did the most. They continue to do the most, because the wicked shall do wickedly. They don't know how to do anything else but that, right? So they must be judged for their wickedness. Okay? They must be judged for their wickedness. The Most High is not slack concerning his promise. Okay? That those who destroy the earth shall be destroyed. And so we know who has destroyed this earth and who continues to destroy this earth through technology, through drilling, through pollution. Okay? There's a recompense for that. You can't just do that and think that no harm is gonna come to you or your children's children, just like it came unto us. Right? There was no escape. No one was gonna buy our freedom. We had to go through the curses because we, like the scripture says, Israel's a stiff-necked people, right? Our forefathers went off, and the result of it is us being where we are right now. So we are going through the pains and the sorrows still until we are delivered by Yahweh Shai. Until the end, right? Until the end. And there is no such thing as a free ride, right? You can't manipulate, destroy, kill, murder, lie, all types of abominations. You can't do that as a people and expect nothing to happen to you. There is no such thing as a free ride, and no one is getting out of this unscathed. Okay? Revelations 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the faith and patience of the saints. Because in this truth, You have to have faith, and you have to have patience, knowing and understanding what has been done, the atrocities. You have to have faith and trust that the Most High is going to do what he said he was going to do. That's the faith and patience of the saints as recompense. That's why the scripture says, only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. That is the patience of the saints, to see these things happen, right? Obadiah 1, and I'm going to read 1 through 21. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom, which is a so-called white man. Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. Right? Which we know what that is. Whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's the pride of our enemies, right? That's the pride of our enemies. Who shall bring us down to the ground? Who's going to destroy us? We're the most powerful nation ever. No one can beat us, right? Who's going to bring us down to the ground? Being bold, boasting, bragging, so confident, right? 4, thou that exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou that set thy nest among the stars, right? The spaceships, the airplanes, rockets, space stations, all of these things, right? Setting their nests among the stars, wanting to be on high, wanting to be on top, and to be on top and to look below at those who are beneath them, as they always do, right? If these came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they have not stolen till they have had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? No, they're not going to do that. They didn't leave us anything. Scraps, and not even that, right? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy, right, have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, which means it hadn't happened yet, right? In that day, where am I at? Salak 8, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? There's not going to be no understanding. Well, we can see it right now, right? There is no understanding. Everything is lies. Everything is betrayal. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Okay? That's judgment. For thy violence against thy brother, Jacob, which represents the 12 tribes, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So this is a people that are going to be cut off forever, thus saith the scripture. In that day, which it hasn't happened yet, thou stoodest on, this part happened. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them, because they watched them do it. Right? So all of these nations who had a hand in our captivity shall go into captivity. Right? And the wicked twin brother Esau saw it happen and didn't do nothing. Just watched it. And that's what the scripture is saying. 12. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Right? Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. All the things that we were going through, this is what they were doing. Okay? Looking down on us. We already down to the ground. We already broken down. That's why the scripture says, Jacob the worm, right? That's how low we became, right? 14, neither shouldst thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldst thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Lord is near upon all. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. That's why no one shall escape. No one shall get away unscathed. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. All the things that we went through shall be done unto them. The Lord is near upon all the heathen, as the scripture says. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. And we're watching that daily happen. It's happening so, and the thing is because of technology, yeah, we're seeing an abundance of judgment upon our enemies. But there's a lot of things we're not seeing. Doesn't mean it's not being done. Just because we don't see it. This is a big world. There's a lot of people in this world. There's a lot of atrocities in this world that happen daily. Okay? For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, which is us, Zion. And there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions, right? And the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions, right? That's why the scripture says, roughly paraphrasing, right? The abundance of the she shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. These heathen, everything that they have is going to be ours. That's what the Most High is saying. 8, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it. Okay, that's judgment. Not my judgment, not what I think. That's what the scripture says. Thus saith the scriptures, right? Revelations 18:6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. This has to happen. This will happen. Okay? The Most High is not a man, he shall lie. If he says, give her this, that's what you're going to do. And that's what's going to happen. Point blank period. There ain't no praying your way out of nothing. They can't do it. There's no chance. There's no escape, right? Judgment. I mean, we're watching so many things happen right now with these nations and these war and this war right now too. And everybody's scrambling. And they're not understanding that the Most High is in charge. The Most High is the director of steps. That's why the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, it is not man that walketh to direct his steps. Why? Because the Most High is the puppet master. Okay? He makes things happen the way they're supposed to happen. He sets up kings to be powerful, to be these things, and then he destroys them. Just like he did Pharaoh. Just like he did all other kings and people in power. He brings them up to destroy them. That's his pleasure, right? But we have to trust and understand the plan and trust that he's going to deliver us right? Trust that he's going to deliver us from these things. And you have these, these other nations thinking, and he's even thinking they're going to get raptured out of destruction, taken up from harm's way, but that's not going to happen. No one gets away unscathed. No one. If we didn't get away unscathed, and we are the Most High's chosen people, we had to go through the pains and the sorrows and the curses, which we are still under, by the way. So we have been freed, yes, spiritually, but physically we are still under the curses. We're still paying rent. We still gotta, we still getting beat and lynched, right? We're still on the bottom. We still gotta beg for food, for money. Stay on these jobs and not get paid what we should get paid. Like, we're still under the curses. We still got, the list goes on and on. So until all of that is gone, we're still under the curses. So we are just waiting to be released physically from this place, right? The abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. That ain't happened yet. Okay? That's what we're waiting on. And just like we took on the sins of our forefathers, they have to take on the sins of their forefathers. That's why no one gets away unscathed. That's why. That's exactly why. And those who shall cleave to the house of Israel is a blessing, because there are going to be nations that are going to cleave unto us. But cleaving doesn't mean you get away unscathed. That's why the scripture says, for his people, for his chosen, those who endure to the end, the same shall be saved. That means you have to endure what? You have to endure some pressure. You have to endure some trials, some tribulation. You're going to have to go through the fire, man. So if we, who are the chosen, have to go through the fire, how much more these other nations? Even if they cleave. That's why no one gets away unscathed, unharmed. Something has to happen. And the Most High's vengeance is everywhere. And that's why the scripture says, Ecclesiasticus 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of their destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made him. The Most High is cold, man. He's all powerful, man. He created spirits for vengeance. And that's including animals. So you're seeing attacks, animal attacks. You're seeing people wilding out and shooting up places. You're seeing mass just destruction by people, animals, all kinds. That's the Most High. Those are spirits created for vengeance, as the scripture says. That's why we have to fear the Most High. That's why we have to fear the Most High, man. Because this is his word speaking. This is what he does. He is in control. And you seeing, atrocities all over this world, man. There be spirits created for vengeance. And the one thing about this scripture right here, at the end where it says, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Well, the Most High is the only one that makes spirits and creates them. They're appeasing him. Okay? Cold. Revelation 16, 1-9. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of wrath of power upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and a grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped the image. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea. All the fish, all the whale, everything died in the sea. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of the waters, and they became blood. And I heard the angel of the waters say, Thou art righteous, O Lord, which art and was and shall be, because thou hast judged thus. See, a lot of people don't want this world and this wicked dominion to end. They don't want it to end. They don't want this system to end. Oh, let's make America great. Or, oh, it don't even have to be the MAGA movement. It could be any other people, group, organization, whatever it is. Individuals want this thing to continue like this. Want this thing to continue with them being on top. Or want this thing to continue to benefit them. I want my kids to go to college, and I want them to grow up, and I want them to do this, and on and on and on and on, and I'm gonna leave them this, and it's on. Like, no. This is not it, and this is not living to our standards and what the Most High has promised us. That's not living, man. That's why it all has to go, and it all will go. 5. And I heard an angel of the water, an angel of the waters say, Thou art righteous, O Lord, which art and was and shall be, because thou hast judged thus. For they have shed the blood of the saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink. For they are worthy. They are worthy to have blood to drink, because they spilt blood, right? And I heard another one out of the altar say, Even so, Lord, power almighty, true and righteous are thy judgments. And fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. And men were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of power. See, even through their destruction, this is why they got to go. This is why it has to be done with. Even through their destruction, they're going to curse the Most High. That's why there's no righteousness in him. There's no seeing truth. There's nothing. And you have a lot of people confess the Most High. Oh, yeah, I love him and this, that, and the third. But their hearts are far from him. And that's our people too. That's some of our people. Because they don't understand. they don't have no understanding. There's no understanding in them. That's why they can be both-sided. Right? That's how they can straddle the fence, as the scripture says. Okay? They blaspheme the name of power, which hath power over these plagues. And they repented not to give him glory. A shame, man. Psalms 83, 1 through 10. Keep not thou silence, O power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, which is us, and consulted against thy hidden ones, which is us. They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against us. The tabernacles of Edom, and of the Ishmaelites, Moab, the Hagarenes, Gebal, Ammon, Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre, Asher also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Dung, shit, for the earth. Okay? All of these nations that the Most High just mentioned right here. And ones that are not in here. That's judgment. Right? They're going to be as dung upon the earth. Only with thine eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. We're going to watch and see this. And that's what's coming to fulfillment. Prophecy. Because it has to. The Most High is not a man that he should lie. Right? Baruch 4:23-25. For I send you out with mourning and weeping. Right? But power will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. Like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivities. Right? All of these nations plotting together, watching us go into captivity, putting us in captivity, selling us to other neighboring wicked countries, right? Shortly your salvation from our power which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of everlasting. My children, suffer patiently with wrath that is come upon you from power. See, we had to go through it, which we are still. That's why he says, be patient. Those who endure to the end shall be saved. Okay, all of these things that has happened to us is going to come to an end. It's going to come to an end. So he's saying, hold on. Just hold on a little longer. Okay? I'm going to read 25. My children, suffer patiently with wrath that is come upon you from power. For thy enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck. Okay? So that's where we are, man. That's where we are. And so just hold on, man. That's all we got to do. Wait, watch, and pray. And the Most High is working. And as we strive to live rightly, right? And love our neighbor as ourselves, right? As the scripture says, right? Strive to be pleasing in his sight. And do that every day. Because he knows your heart. I mean, we're in a spiritual battle. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So we're going to go through some things. But if we strive to live rightly, the Most High is going to deliver us as he promised. So I hope this lesson was edifying. I hope y'all have a good day. And until next time I say, Shalom.